We are in a matrix, we are in a video game, whatever that is, it's still a division program. And it still keeps you locked into the collective consciousness of that program. Because really, there's thousands and millions of programs available on this planet. And they're so easily plugged into,
Yeah.
and the fear, the anger, the resentment, the disease, they're just programs. And you can disconnect from any of them. And when you do, your whole life just starts automatically shifting because your life is ran by your subconscious programming. It's ran by programming. So when you change that programming, your life automatically starts changing, and so does the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Truth Seeker and Aaron podcast. I am one half of that podcast. I'm Truth Seeker.
And I'm the other half. I'm Aaron. Good to see everybody.
And today we have a special guest with us.
Yes, and our special guest is an amazing author, and she works in amazing healing modalities and global consciousness and DNA activations, and her name is Tamra Oviatt. So it's great to have you.
Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for inviting me in. Being able to share some fantastic information today.
Healing modalities. You have a sacred activation that you work in. Obviously, your life is a conduit because you wear so many hats. So I think that's tied into the work that you do just to bring healing to the collective consciousness. One thing I was talking about really right before you jumped into the Zoom was this idea of people being defragmented, where we're separated in our own consciousness, and then we look out into the collective, and then we see these little compartments of division amongst all types of communities, whether it's religion that is broken down into two denominations, or the spiritual community as well, that seems to be a lot of different division and half-truths and just all types of just craziness and confusion. I wonder if that's something that you can speak to, just the agenda to divide us and pit us against each other in a sense.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, because that's how the control's kept in the matrix. We are in a matrix, we are in a video game, and really all we have to do is work on ourselves, because we are connected to the collective consciousness. And when we work on ourselves to heal, we're healing the whole world. So we don't have to go out there, heal the world, or fight. As a matter of fact, the worst thing you could do is get angry with what's going on. Because when you get angry, you are separate and you're feeding the energy of anger. So it doesn't matter if you are a conspiracy theorist or whatever that is, it's still a division program. And it still keeps you locked into the collective consciousness of that program. Because really, there's thousands and millions of programs available on this planet. And they're so easily plugged into,
Yeah.
and the fear, the anger, the resentment, the disease, they're just programs. And you can disconnect from any of them. And when you do, your whole life just starts automatically shifting because your life is ran by your subconscious programming. It's ran by programming. So when you change that programming, your life automatically starts changing, and so does the world. Do not go out and fight. Do not go out in anger. Do not go out and separate. The world's not going to split in two, and there's so many people that are channeling information that the world's going to split in two, but they're still channeling a program. It's a program within the program within the program. And no matter how high up you go, there are other programs. But it's so important to realize we're all in this together. And your neighbor doesn't have to change for the world to change. Only you do. And then the world starts changing. And really, I see this game for about the 10% of us that are playing this game, and everybody else is background actors. Don't worry about them. You can still love them. You can have relationships with them. But you don't have to change them. Just keep connecting with your own inner peace, love, joy, happiness, abundance, and
Yeah.
health. And that's what you create, and you start seeing it all around you. And then your life just gets more and more magical of fantastic experiences.
Yeah.
It's almost like trying to fix people and change the others is a program in itself, right? And I think we're all
It is.
like I'm coming out of that one in a weird sense, but
Yeah.
still not, but still like trying to keep that same energy of wanting to help, but not trying to like force help or pretend that they need me, this weird like hero messiah complex,
Yeah.
even if you wouldn't label it that, because I wouldn't have labeled it that. That's always the
Yeah.
others. It's not me. But still, I'm just trying to help. And these people need me kind of thing, and they need me to fix them. And that's a program in and of itself because we are healers. We're here to bring,
Yeah.
we're conduits of light and love and
Yeah.
good vibes and that kind of thing. But there's a weird, it's a dichotomy, wouldn't you say? To like I'm the main character, I'm the hero, I have to fix it, to versus like, hold on, let me. That's a program that's very deceptive
That's a
as well, right?
program in itself. Yeah. And it takes a process to get through it. One of my biggest teachers is my husband. We got back together 5 years ago from dating 20 years before that. And he has a lot of opposite beliefs than me. And instead of getting angry at him or trying to fix him, I work on myself. I go to Glastonbury every year. I just love Glastonbury. It's the heart chakra of the world. And I've gone the last couple of years and I invite him. He's all, I hate England. Do you know he just booked his flight to join me this year?
Oh,
And I'm doing a Stonehenge inner circle. He's coming. I was like, wow, that's really cool. So from going to, I hate this place to, I'm going to join you and I didn't say anything to him. I didn't try to control him or change him. And he's just changing because I'm changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not requiring him to come or mad at him that he's not coming or anything else. It was like, that's fine. This is my time. I'm going to go do what I want to do. And so, me just working on me, my husband keeps changing and getting better and better. And it's just really magical. Instead of me being angry or judgmental about his belief systems, I don't buy into them, and I'm just nice about them. And we do have a rule, no politic talking in
Mm-hmm.
the house, no news. That is a rule from the beginning of our relationship, and it's fantastic. But if he says something to me, I just smile at him, and then he just drops it. And so I'm sharing this with you because we're surrounded with people that are opposite than us and believe different than
Yeah.
us. And we could choose to fight with them, hate them, be angry, or we could choose to love them anyways and let them have their beliefs and not try to fix them.
Yeah.
and that can
Yeah,
be the hardest thing, especially when you have a heart for the people, and especially when it's somebody you love,
yeah,
that you really are trying to call them up higher because you can see a different timeline for them. You can see that they can be living
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a better version of their life, a happier version of their life, a more healed version. But that's a lesson that I've definitely been learning, operating in Christ consciousness, that, you know, Christ is unconditional love, open heart chakra. And to be able to love somebody where they are without wanting to tweak them or change them, that's to me another definition of unconditional love. Like, you don't have to change. I love you just as you
Mm-hmm.
are. And that can be, it can be a struggle when it's somebody you love and you want them to live a happier life.
Yeah. Or accept that that's like that's them. Like it's never they're
yeah,
never gonna be you. They're never gonna be this idea that you have for them. That's a very hard one because it's like no, you don't understand. I'm not gonna take no for an answer. I'm not gonna accept that they're living in poverty or below standards or they're hurting themselves. And it's like no, that archetype in your life is like that's them and that's them. That's all
yeah,
you're getting. For some
yeah.
people to accept that it could be very 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 hard.
But then, like you
Takes time.
said, that love, when you give it that way, is transformational, and change tends to happen whether
Yeah.
expect it to or not.
Yeah, yeah. It's a process, it definitely is. And that's why I say he's a huge teacher for me
Mm-hmm.
because instead of just blowing him off, because of his belief systems and just letting go of that relationship. I continue to work on myself about that. And so it doesn't bother me anymore, you know, and then now he's changing because he doesn't have to mirror that to me anymore. And it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
So really, when we work on ourselves and heal ourselves, everybody around us starts
Yep.
changing and how they act and
Mm-hmm.
how they show up. But if somebody chooses to be sick or depressed or homeless, there's nothing we can do about it except
Yeah.
give them love and allow them to choose. And truly, we are in a video game. They're learning, they're on their path, you know, they're having their experience. And as healers, that really want to make a change in the world, just by showing up and doing what we're doing, the right people find us. And we get to assist those people
Mm-hmm.
that want the healing, that want the change, you know. So, and everybody else, we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. Not everybody wants to heal. Not everybody wants to be in peace. But really, how I see this, and this goes back to I did this class and I made a book out of it called Out of the Mind Matrix in 2018. And God showed me this blueberry, and he said, "This is the unconsciousness. I mean, excuse me, this is the consciousness of unconditional love." And then he showed me this watermelon. He says, "This is the collective consciousness of fear," right? So when we start disconnecting from that fear consciousness, that watermelon energy or whatever is going to shrink, right? And then the blueberry starts growing. So what happens with that is that collective consciousness program's there. So it's easier to pull out of the fear because it's not as strong, and it's easier to plug in to that consciousness of love. And that's what's happening with the planet. The planet, as we keep changing these programs and supporting these programs of love, then these consciousness grow. And it's easier for everybody to plug into because there's a lot of people unconsciously just running the programs that are there. They're doing their day-to-day life from their subconscious programming, but that fear program isn't strong anymore, right? So what happens? They start operating automatically from the love program. And then they don't even know it. They don't even know they switched programs and now they're operating out of love and they're finding that their day is joyful. They're enjoying the butterflies and the trees and the birds and a cup of coffee with a friend. They're smiling at someone, you know, and that's really all they have to do. And so as our world goes, that's what I believe is happening, is that we are connecting that Christ consciousness, that unconditional love, and it's spreading through the world because we're all connected.
Mm.
We're all connected. So all those background operators, actors will automatically be doing that instead.
That's good.
And
Mm-hmm.
I have a Christ consciousness activation. I'd like to share that today.
Great. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was,
So yeah, definitely wanted to put that in there for people who are listening now.
yeah,
Like, make sure that you stick around to the end because Tamara will definitely be doing a DNA activation and Christ consciousness activation. It's
yeah,
going to be fun. And people can feel it. Like you can feel it. It's the one thing just to do it and say, okay, keep moving. But there's a certain energy and it uplifts your spirit, and it's going to be amazing. So make sure that you stick around to the end for that. Um, with all the stuff we're already talking about, just diving deep into healing and turning off some pretty hardcore programs. Like those programs, like this is for the healer. I think a lot of people who have that compassion to help and want to, and this desire to help people get out the mud and go to the next level, they're healers. They
yeah,
want to help. They're trying their best to fix it. Find themselves spinning their own wheels and not getting anywhere, right? So being able to turn that off is a big deal, and it's one of the hardest ones. So we out of the gate, we're talking about some really deep stuff. One thing I wanted to ask you, some of the stuff that you have on your website, some of the pictures that you have on your website, and one of my favorite subjects is the fact that we're not alone in this in this fight, if you will, in this simulation. We're not alone. We have helpers. There are guides that are, here to help us and to hold our hands and to kind of big brother, big sister for us in this thing. Can you talk a little bit about the different helpers that show up to heal and encourage us too along the way?
I can share my story with you if that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, 1999, I kept hearing I was supposed to be a healer, and I had no idea what that meant. I didn't know about psychics. I didn't know about past lives. I didn't know about any of it. I heard there was angels. I grew up in a Christian church. Um, and I kept hearing it over and over again. I said, okay, so I started doing these different healing modalities. And I met this hypnotherapist, and he was in India for many years, and he was so cool. He was my first teacher. So he taught me hypnotherapy, and he brought me down into my space, in that unconsciousness or whatever space. And and I saw a bird, and he told me it wasn't a bird at all. And he said, "Come with me." And he grabbed my arm and he took me over the planet, and he took me onto like this cloud, right? And we're looking down at the planet, it's a ball. And he says, "Do you see that?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "It's just a game. That's all it is. It's just a game. Are you a winner or are you a loser?" And that was like in 1999. And then I was doing all these different modalities. I was going back and forth in the workforce. I walked away from the workforce, and I took all these different trainings, and I just couldn't do anything. I mean, I could feed my family, but that was it. I was in foreclosure on my house. And I walked away from a six-figure job and fell flat on my face. And in 2011, I was talking to this guy online, met him on Facebook. We started Skyping, okay? So that's how long ago it was. And he's like, "Oh, Tamara, come over here. Let's get married. I want to marry you, blah, blah, blah." And and I didn't know what else to do. So I thought, okay, maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. So I went over to England, March 2012, and um, I knew I wasn't going to marry him. So I'm like, what the heck am I doing here? I have $200 in my account. I have no credit cards. My house is in foreclosure. It's like I just was lost. And then one morning I got up and I went for a walk through this graveyard in England. Graveyards are amazing energy. And so I'm walking through this graveyard and I'm like, God, what the hell am I doing here? And I heard to go to the Roslyn Chapel. So I said, okay, I didn't know what that was. And so I went back to his house and he was talking to a friend of his on his phone, which was really cool, spiritual guy. And so I told him what I heard. So he's all, "Oh my God, Tamara, you got to go. This is on this amazing ley lines, blah, blah, blah." So the next day I booked a train for Edinburgh, Scotland. And then I heard to invite one of my clients to join me. So she joined me at the church, and we walked around, and I sat in the pew and I said, "Okay, God, I'm here." And I was told to go in the Akashic Records. I had Akashic Records training, but I'd go in there and do readings for people. So this time I went into the Akashic Records, and Lord Metatron was standing there. I didn't know who he was. I said, "Who are you and what do you want?" And he said, "I'm Lord Metatron. I'm here to assist you." And that's when this spiral energy came in, followed up by these golden seals. And it blew me away. I never felt anything like that in my life.
Hmm.
And then I heard I was now crystalline to give these others. And this is how sacred activations began. I ended up spending 8 months in Europe. Was able to pay my way all the way through every time I needed anything. A client would come in. I went and spent time on a mountaintop in Spain. I hung out in Italy. And this whole time I was being taught, and all these different masters and stuff were coming in, giving me activations and supporting me. So absolutely, we have support. We have support, but it is our job. They're here to support us, not to do it for us. They're not here to save us. They're here to support us in our own awakening and our own love. Um, so, of course, we all have angels, guides, whatever that is. But as you go up that vibrational ladder and you start shifting, you stop talking to all the masters and angels because you don't need to anymore. You're at that level of consciousness that they're operating in, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. And it's a little weird when that happens, but you can still call on them and talk to them, but it's no longer necessary. But when you, but they are there to support you. And while you're on your path, it's very helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Especially starting out, right? For sure. The idea just to know that you're not alone is a big deal for many people, you know?
Yeah. You're not alone. You are in a video game. You can live the life you desire. I mean, I went from foreclosure to owning my house outright on the beach in Mexico with a swimming pool in my front yard and solar panels that heat my swimming pool so I can swim all year long.
Nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been amazing transformation. I mean, just absolutely amazing. And I just so love helping people get in their power and honor that and create the life they desire, really. Because that's really what it's all about.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw on your website a lot of photos of orbs and rainbows and angels in the clouds and that kind of thing. And that's right up our alley. We love to photograph those things. And like you said, it just kind of gives you a little, like, we know we're not alone. But then when you have a picture and you're
Yeah.
in a low spot, you could say, I have proof I'm
Yeah.
not alone, you know?
Uh,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, those images have really helped me through the years.
yeah.
The first one where you see the pillar of light,
Mm-hmm.
that was before I became a healer. I said, prove to me this white light exists. And my girlfriend was taking pictures of me. The internet was just started, so I'm going to do online dating, right? So I'm having her take pictures of me, and then the picture was this pillar of light hitting me right in the heart chakra. And I was like, wow. And that has really helped support me through the years. And then Egypt, the rainbow on my legs, they give me these images to support me to, yes, you're on the right path. I was just in Japan and I've got this, we haven't shared it yet on the website. It's pink goes across my face and then there's a rainbow above
Mm.
it. And I'm standing in front of this sequoia tree and it was like, wow.
That's
It's,
awesome.
yeah. I don't know when I'm going to get them. They just show up on the film and it's really makes me feel really good and supported. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
There's
right
something,
on.
I you could feel, I feel many different ways about the pictures and the videos, right? It's like, part of me is like this idea of like kissing and telling, like, almost like, because like we I teach people how to take pictures of them, but it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna tap in and we're gonna go in and we're gonna ask for a sighting or whatever, but then we're gonna hide a camera and we're like voyeur, like taking a picture of the divine beings walking through or whatever. but but so there's a part of me that's almost like taboo about it because it's a holy moment, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
also the impact and the activations that when you do capture something like that on camera, video, or picture, like the activation that comes with for somebody to be able to see and feel. That was one thing that I got from a lot of people in the comment section. People would just start bursting out in tears watching videos of these divine beings on camera, and like it was what they needed to, maybe feeling so isolated or feeling like maybe it wasn't
Yeah.
real or their mind is playing tricks on them, and here's somebody else who actually have caught the beings, if you will, on camera that they've been interacting with and communicating with in the unseen realm.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
just
that's
the
really
images, the
cool.
painting,
Yeah,
even the imagery that you have behind you, just even if it was painted or just comes from the imagination, it has the ability to transfer energy.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my art is energy art, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, just again
you
with
can
the
feel it. Yeah,
so I want to direct people. Maybe we can show some of these on screen right now, but for those who are listening to the audio podcast, make sure you go to tamaraoviat.com and check out the pictures that are on the website there, because there's some really cool ones.
Yeah.
Light in the frequencies and the rays. We're just infatuated with the stuff that you were infatuated with as a kid. That a lot of us kind of, you know, traded our birthright for a different program. And we find the hero's journey and making our way back is to reclaim our childhood and our dreams and to wonder again, the inspiration. And I
Yeah.
think
Isn't
that's a
that
big part of the
beautiful?
healing journey, right?
Absolutely, to wonder again. I love your image, your painting I get of Jesus on the
Oh yeah.
back. Where
Yeah, I had to have that one just because I know the light's kind of dark, but just because of the light coming out of his heart space is so bright and it's just
yeah,
shining so bright. I was like, it's not just a little flame in the center. It's like there's literal his heart is a portal to universal
yeah,
light and love. I was like, and that's the one I wanted to get. Yeah.
yeah. I absolutely love that. Yeah, I did one. Um, I don't have it on my wall. As a matter of fact, it was just a small painting, but I have one of Jesus pointing to his heart, and it's a heart, and then he's winking, and he's got the peace sign up. So it's like, the peace comes through the heart. And it was a total channel drawing. I was in Glastonbury, which is ley lines, and the energy there is just so incredible. And it's just so much fun to look at. It makes
Mm.
me laugh,
Yeah,
but
they're so encoded.
everything's from the heart. They are encoded. Yeah, and so is that one. Because when I looked at it, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love going back just to all the ancient artwork just to see, because like if they had a camera, they would have totally taken pictures, right? But they
Yeah.
had, they had ink and paint, so they painted their encounters and hid little Easter eggs and stuff through there. So it's just being creative with it, and like when the person is ready, when their consciousness is ready, when their consciousness is evolved to the point where they can now see that thing, and they're like, oh wow, there's a reason why every time I look at these ancient iconography, there's always animals involved, or why is there always cardinals in these images of Jesus in the early church and things like that. These little things that you kind of overlook until it's like, hold on, like there's a reason why the animals are in it, or there's certain flowers depicted in the artwork and kind of stuff, and there's a deeper meaning behind, what just
Yeah.
seems to be a random flower or a random bird or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, when you look at them, you can feel it. You can feel the energy from it. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
we talked a little bit earlier about fear and how the imagery of the fear being like a watermelon and the love was like a blueberry. How can we, as a collective, how can we shift a little bit in that direction of lessening the fear, increasing the love without, like we also talked about, kind of pushing ideas on people or, dragging them along to their healing? Like, what are some practical things we can do to work on ourselves to shift things in that direction as a collective?
Take some time out every day. Of course, I'm going to say use sacred activations. It's going to do it for you. It's going to reprogram your subconscious mind. But work on yourself every day. Let go of that anger towards your neighbor or towards your spouse or towards your child or towards your boss. And just give yourself love. That's all you have to do. And it is a process. It is a process. I still have anger come up sometimes. I'm not completely free of anger. But I'm getting better and better and better at it. Um, and it is a process. And really, the collective consciousness is getting piped in with this fear and anger, sadness, sickness. It all keeps being piped into the collective consciousness. And when you have that pop up in your mind, you got to say no, thank you. No, thank you to that program. I remember years ago, 2011, I'm in my bathroom and I hear you're going to get sick this weekend. And I went, oh, that's cool. I can spend the whole weekend in bed. I don't have to do anything. The sore throat started, the headache started. And then I went, wait a minute. I have too much to do. I can't be sick. Did you know it all went away within a half hour and I was fine? But it was like this program came in, you're going to be sick. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can lay in bed all weekend and watch TV. Woohoo. And then I went, wait a minute. No, 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 thank you. No, thank you. So these programs are always being thrown at us, and you got to say no, thank
Mm.
you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Nope, I'm not taking that on. And it's going to throw at you again, say no again. And before you know it, it'll just stop showing up. But say no to those programs.
It sounds like a bit of, mental warfare, if you will. Like the war is within you.
Oh, it
Again, we try
is.
to, I mean, obviously, everything outside of you is a mirror of something inside of you. It wouldn't even get your attention if it didn't resonate with something within you. But,
Yeah.
you know, the enemy isn't out there. The enemy
Yeah.
is not the Democrats or the Republicans or somebody in another country or something like that. Or the enemy is within. It's in you, and like that's the big secret, And so these things of like just a simple thought that tried to impress itself upon you, like, hey, it would be easier just to lay up for the weekend, and you kind of have an excuse. You can be sick, but you kind of get a little mini vacation, and part of you is like, yeah, I could use a mini
Yeah.
vacation on the couch for a couple of days, but then it's like, hold on, no, it wasn't somebody didn't outside of you tell you that it was within you, and you was able to take that thought captive, is what Jesus says, right? Like take every thought captive that is it maybe it's Paul, but it's in the scripture where it says, all of these thoughts that um like if you was to discern the thoughts that are coming to you, like, hold on, that's not good. Why am I agreeing with this program? Maybe you've
Right.
agreed with it in the past, and it just now it's knocking at your door again, but now you're consciously aware that, hold on, I don't want to be sick for a couple of days. There's a lot of, you know, so to be able to take that thought captive and not agree with it, or maybe take some precautions of what you do to avoid sickness, right? These little things where we can stop this subconscious programming that are just running. It's just background programs that are just running. We have so many of them, and that's just.
So
I
many of
think that
them.
one of the easiest ways to just become aware of what's going on.
It's a process, it is. And that's what sacred activations does is it clears those negative programs out of your subconscious mind so they stop running. And then we replace it with happy, happy, joy, joy.
Mm,
That's the highest vibration.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're programming your subconscious mind with happy, happy, joy, joy, 51% save your subconscious mind, your life's going to be magical. And so what happens is your subconscious mind just starts creating things you want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, oh, he wants happy, happy, joy, joy. What brings him happy, happy, joy, joy? Oh, this beautiful sunset and this walk on the beach and this opportunity
Yeah.
to put his feet in this water. This brings him joy. Next thing you know, you're getting invited to the beach or you're going for the weekend or something comes up that allows you to do that. And then your life just starts happening where you just keep having these more cool, fun experiences that bring you happiness and joy.
Mm-hmm. That's good. All because you changed the way that you look at it, and you
That's all you have
responded
to
differently.
do. And the war is inside. The war is inside. We are in World War III. It's a spiritual war.
Yeah.
How do you win it? Stop playing it.
Yeah. Stop fighting people outside of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop fighting people outside of you and heal your own inner war.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. There's not some big magical thing you have to do. It's all within you. I mean, the temple of God, right? You are the temple of God. You are that energy. How would you treat if you saw God in front of you? You got to treat yourself the same way. You got to love yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's so key.
That's all we have to do. And that's
But
really
that's the
all we
hardest
have to
thing
do.
to do. It's like that's all you got to do is love yourself. It's like, oh, have you met me?
Oh, man, trust me, it's a process. I get it.
Yeah.
I've been on this path a long time working on myself, but my life just keeps getting better and better and better. And I mean, most of my day is happy, happy, joy, joy now. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And these opportunities keep coming up for me where I get to have these experiences that are just absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited about it. And they automatically just start happening for me. I'm not having to seek a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And but it shows up in these opportunities. I mean, the opportunity to be on with you guys today is absolutely amazing. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. I think what you guys do is amazing. And thank you so much for allowing me to come on and interviewing me because that's feels really good. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for desiring that, because the way that that works is like we get that all the time, and we know we make an impact on people's life, but just there the voice is still there. That's like, maybe it keeps us balanced. I don't know, but sometimes it can win. Like it's like, hold on, like nobody's listening, nobody's paying attention. Like this is kind of pointless. You're talking to yourself. Those subconscious, like, hold on, no, no, no. I got hundreds of messages of people's lives have been radically transformed by sitting in on a conversation. Like you got to
Yeah.
talk back to that thing and put the ego or the
Hmm.
inner critic like back in its place and say, you got some points there, but this is for the greater good. It's too evident who I am and what I'm called to do, and that I'm making an impact. Because you go from having these amazing days, and then something comes, and an unexpected bill, or somebody tells you, what they really think about you, and it's not what your fans or audience think about you or something, and it's critical, and then we believe that one voice over all of the other, parading voices that are singing your praises and stuff. But I think it still helps keep you humble and balanced and kind of thing. But I mean, that's where depression comes from too sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
depression is from sadness and sorrow and
Mm-hmm.
trauma. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it shows you, there's still something in you. You know what I'm saying? That's
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah, you're carrying a lot of trauma.
yeah, you can deal with it.
Yeah, if you're depressed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, like what you said about everything being a process. I can see everything being a process. Like um, in the scriptures where the guy asked, how many times should I forgive? He said, 7 times. He said, no, 70 times seven. And I'm
Yep.
beginning to see in my own life that he might have said that because not because he was going to do 70 times seven different things to hurt you, but that one thing he did to hurt you, you might have to forgive him over and
Mm.
over that many times for that one
Wow.
thing
Wow, because it bled over into other
because
things.
it's a process. And like
Yeah.
you forgive and you release and you let go with whatever modalities you use. And then, you can feel it when it starts stirring and rising back up and affecting you and your life. So then you have to release it again.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think you have to release those singular type hurts
Yeah.
that many times.
10 times over, right?
So I
Oh,
can also see the flip side of the coin, learning to love yourself, having to do that over and over and over, because you'll do it and then you'll start to believe it. But then, like you said, the other voices come in and you have to, we call it fruit ninja, like swat those out of the way because you don't want those
Yep.
coming in and taking up residency because you don't want to
Yeah.
agree and create contracts with these things that are not truths. And it's
Well,
all a
yeah. And that's what
process.
happens in the collective consciousness. It's being thrown at you. What are you going to pick up?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, 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 thank you. And then it just goes, it goes away. And it gets easier and easier, and your mind becomes more and more calm,
Yeah.
and that's really where we need to be in our lives is
Mm-hmm.
just be calm.
And celebrate the victories, because like if your mind
Of
is
course.
wired that way for the bad, which a lot of us by default is, like you can retrain that for the good and celebrate the victories, which bring more happy, joy, joy.
Yeah.
Whether it's talking to yourself to remind yourself of, like, hold on, like you're a badass, like you've come a long way, and people
Yeah.
you've helped, and you just showing up and being a friend, like you're helping people, like there's
Yeah.
no need, and you start leaning into that of like, yeah, people are being impacted and living their best lives because I said yes, and I continue to say yes, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep showing up and keep saying yes because it is
Absolutely.
working.
It is working. Absolutely. You're making an impact. It is working. Keep doing what you're doing, and the right people will come to you. I have a really simple story I'd like to share with you. When um, when we bought our house 4 years ago, there was this tall cactus by our door. And we really loved the cactus. It was really cool. And and then we're always honoring it and loving it. And then the next year gave us a flower. And we're like, oh my God, look at this flower. They only bloom for 24 hours. Oh my God, this flower is so beautiful. I can't believe how amazing it is. Last, taking pictures of it and stuff, you know. Last year gave us two flowers. I'm videotaping it. I'm posting it everywhere. Oh my God, we got two flowers. Do you know we have seven flowers now this
Yeah.
year?
Wow.
Because we're loving the cactus, it started giving us flowers. And then it went from two to seven because we're just love the cactus so much. It's really, really tall. You know, we've chopped it a couple times and we still have huge ones other places in the yard now. And it gave us seven flowers this year because we're honoring it and loving with it. It gave us more of that. And that's
Mm.
really where we need to be in our lives
Hmm.
is honor, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then brings us more of that. Whatever it is we're focusing
Yeah.
on, if it's negative or positive.
Yeah, it's so true because we often get in the mindset of like demonizing and tearing down the things we don't agree with. And the flip side of that would be to just let that stuff
Oh
go
yeah.
and honor and
Yep.
raise up and show gratitude for the things you do
Yeah.
agree with.
Oh yeah.
That's all you have to do.
That's what I do on the podcast. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where my success came from. You know, of like, you know, how can you talk to that person? How could you find commonality with this person? It's like just let them give their opening statement, and there's something that, yeah, there's obviously 10 things that I disagree with. I don't care about that's other videos and podcasts, and there's so many. What about we have differences, and we could do a podcast and not even mention them, but we double down on the things we agree on and both believe in and lights us up like that. Man, that has the power to change the world.
Hmm.
It has, and it's done it, and I can't forget like how it seems so simple though, right? Oh yeah, anybody can do that. No, they can't. Like
Yeah.
that's a process because you've been trained and brainwashed to identify the thing that makes them different and to tease them and even pick on them. And you know, we went through school with that happening to us, you know, and or even doing it to people. But it's like, hold on, let me listen long enough until I can find something that I can agree with, or you know, that I believe in, or and you'd be surprised at the impact and the way that it changes your subconscious and the way that you treat people, and then full circle the way people treat you.
The way people treat you, exactly, mirror, mirror. You know, how are you treating others? That's how they're treating you.
Mm.
And when
Uh,
you're loving yourself, the others start smiling at you.
right?
Mm.
They can see it.
Yeah.
They see it. They give you that little wink. It's like, hey, how do you know? Are you in on the program too? And I'm like, yeah, I see your progress. um, so these modalities that you teach, the sacred activations and stuff, you have a whole like program where you train people in this, and you certify them in this and so many other techniques and modalities and stuff, right?
It's all my modality. I teach sacred activations. I think there's four classes in that where you receive the golden seals of the activations, and then you automatically can run the energy. You just have to say the name of the activation. It starts running for the other person and for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts out with sacred geometry activations. I see you have some sacred geometry on your
Oh
wall.
yeah, oh yeah.
And two of the activations we'll be doing today, the 18 strand DNA activation, which is also called Lord Metatron. That was my first activation. Lord Metatron gave it to me or assisted me in this. And then we'll also be doing the Christ consciousness. Christ gave this to me on the mountain in Spain. I saw him put his hand on my heart and I received this energy and I was able to start loving myself and people so much better. Um, so sacred activations automatically shifts your subconscious belief systems. So we there, and then there's the master's level, and then there's medical intuitive, and then I teach timelines and parallel universes to go with that to do timeline work where you're clearing out the past timelines and also future timelines because we can have stuff set in our future timeline that does not serve us, but we put it in there. And so we don't have to experience that. And then we also create what we want to experience and bring it into the now. This is I just taught that this weekend. It's for you have to be a practitioner to do it. Absolutely amazing. And then I teach five Akashic Records classes to assist you with the sacred activations. But you have to be a practitioner because you're connecting to the energy and running the energy the whole time while you're working with your clients. It's really life changing. I've seen so many miracles with this. This was given to me. I didn't come up with this. This is this is God energy. You know, I've had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different masters coming in and teaching me and connecting with me, but this is all source energy.
Mm.
This isn't alien energy. This isn't from the angels or the masters. This is from God. And you can't do it wrong.
Yeah.
You can't misuse the energy. You can't hurt
Not
anybody.
gonna trick
And
you.
you can't use it on anybody that doesn't want to do it. You can't hurt them. It's really, really incredible. It's absolutely life-changing.
Mm.
And like I said, I've seen so many miracles. I have teachers all over the world. I just got back from Japan, my fourth year working in Japan. I work with the biggest spiritual company there, and I found out I'm their number one teacher, and that made me feel so good. You know, I am doing this right. You know,
Yeah.
this is really amazing. And yeah, there's over 1,000 practitioners now. I don't know exactly how many, and I've got teachers and it's just really amazing and it's so supportive and helpful. And yeah, there's some woo-woo stuff in here. We go pretty deep down the rabbit hole, especially in the Akashic records. But really, to me, what sacred activation is all about is helping you live a happy life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm all about. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to be happy with whatever it is you do.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that is. That's what sacred activation's about. I call it metaprogramming in the human biocomputer because it's intelligent. Once you receive an activation, it keeps working with you for days, weeks. You don't have to listen to it for 21 days
Mm-hmm.
standing on your head. You listen to it once, and it's this program that starts working in your subconscious mind, clearing out these negative programs and activating other supportive programs for you.
Yeah. We call that integration.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Yeah,
it's just become a part of who you are and what you do, and
yeah,
you don't have to like
yeah,
consciously hold, these ideas and thoughts. They now what seems so hard is now so simple, and it
yeah,
changed your genetic makeup.
it does.
Oh, you ready to get started? I'm excited.
Absolutely. So I wrote down three activations while we were talking. The Christ consciousness. This is going to really help open your heart chakra. This is also known as the flower of life
Mm.
activation. And then the war inside, which is a major deactivation. So you stop fighting yourself. And then the Metatron activation, which is the 18 strands of DNA. It's a DNA activation. So all of these are going to work together to have you be in more flow, and life's just going to get easier. You might not notice anything except your life starts getting easier, or you might get really emotional after this. And like 3 days later, you might be really tired or really angry. It's just stuff releasing. It'll get better. It'll shift out and it'll get better. And it takes about 3 weeks for it to integrate.
Awesome.
So you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So all you have to do is relax. That's it.
Relax.
Just relax and I connect to God energy and God's doing the work. It's not me. Okay. So we're starting with the DNA activation. Okay. The war inside. So, however you're fighting yourself or fighting the world, just focus on that. Okay, we're going to start the Christ consciousness, flower of life. Okay, bringing in the energy of peace, love, joy, and happiness. Okay, just imagine connecting your energy into Mother Earth. Okay, open your eyes when you're ready.
Awesome.
I definitely feel the peace.
Good.
Yeah. I felt the energy with it, and the different visualizations. Like all of it came with a different visualization for me. You didn't have to guide me in anything. You know, a lot of times we're
No,
waiting for that, right? We're waiting for, now I want you to envision Jesus coming into your heart space. Like you just do what you do, and then it's up for the
this is
individual to experience it.
this is all for you. The sacred activations are silent. They're not guided meditations
Mm.
to allow you to have your own process and not interrupt your process. Because what you're letting go is something different than somebody else is letting go of.
That's
You know what
good.
I mean? So,
Yeah.
uh,
Wow. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Uh,
I'm here in love and support for, whoever's ready to live in peace, love, joy, and happiness. That's what I'm all about. I have all the training. If you want to do it yourself, if you want to learn to do it and share it with others and go deeper, I have tons of free activations on my YouTube channel, on my website. If that's what you want to do, that's where you're at. I have webinars. I have tons of activations available on my website to purchase. I have membership programs for really inexpensive. I mean, I have whatever you need to support you in your growth. That's what I'm all about. I'm not saying you have to become a practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
That's for
Yeah.
you. And you
Yeah.
can become one just to work on yourself. And and be in your own power and not having to go out searching for healers to help you, where
Yeah.
you're in your power to help yourself and then help your family, or there's just whatever it is you want, wherever you are in your path. I send you love,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Yeah.
I think it's similar to what you experienced, because the reason I say that is because I experienced something very similar. You hear a voice that says you are supposed to be a healer. You
Yeah.
already are a healer. This is how
Yeah.
you manifest it, right? And so maybe going through that activation, um, maybe somebody heard it for sure. For
Yeah.
sure, because that's. I
We're
mean,
all healers.
I
Yeah.
remember hearing it and it coming to me. I'm like, "What's a healer? What is? Do I have to have a certain dialect?
Yeah.
How does that happen?" But you hear the voice, and I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm saying that in faith that I believe somebody heard the voice. Like, you're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to
Yeah.
be a healer. So they can go to the website tamraoverit.com,
Yeah.
and the link is in the description. The free meditations, get all the free stuff. Make sure you download that. But for you guys who feel the call to go deeper, to sign up for her courses, sign up for her classes, and get certified. If you heard the voice, you heard the inner knowing, you know where to go. And you just trust that it's not overselling something. It's not, you know, pushing
No,
it too
no, it's
hard.
a,
There's an inner
yeah.
knowing that people know. You know it. You
Yeah.
know it's for you, and you've been looking. Here it is.
Yeah. And all my classes are available on demand, which means you can start your training today. And once you sign up for whatever class you sign up for, you get to redo that class as often as you want for free live. So as long as it's online, you can come back and do the class 10 times. You just sign up once. So, I'm here to support you in your growth. And every time you come back to a class, it's expanded and you're expanded, so you're getting more out of it.
Mm,
But everything's available for you on demand. You start today, and then you join in the next live training.
wow.
And we have a support group that we all help each other. They practice, they get together and do practice sessions and support each other on helping themselves and their clients and stuff like that.
No.
It's a full community.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you need. So, ladies and gentlemen, go check out the website, check out her work. Tamara, thanks for coming on with us. We enjoyed this so much. We'll have to do it again.
I would love to do that. Thank you. There's so much to talk about. I mean,
For
we could do
sure.
this for hours.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. No, totally.
Thank you.
Totally.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sending you guys lots and lots of love. I love your puppy. What's your puppy's name?
This is Goose.
Oh, he's so cute. I just want to hug him.
I know he's kind of a little healer in himself. So
They all are.
Yeah.
yeah.
Animals are so amazing. They're so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Goose. All right. Thank you guys so
Thank you,
much.
my friend. We'll
Bye,
do it
Awesome to
everybody.
again.
have
Thanks for
you.
listening.
Amen. Be blessed. Tamara Oviatt, ladies and gentlemen. Did I say the name right?
Yeah, you did.
Oviatt?
Oviatt.
Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to say over it.
I know.
I'm so over it. Oviatt. Yeah. I think I did good.
What a
your name?
lovely, lovely person.
No, that was cool. It's like you can feel the activations just by sitting in silence. And then, did you have the stuff coming to you, like
I
in
did.
your imagination,
Yeah.
your mind's eye?
hmm Yeah, it was funny. I don't know how much I want to share, but I struggle with feel like I need to work more than I do.
Here,
Because I don't really do a lot. You kind of carry 90% of the workload, I feel like, with this podcast and stuff. And I carry probably not, 80, 90% of the house.
hey,
load.
don't say that. No, 70. Come on,
Anyway.
give me some credit.
I struggle with that balance, feeling like I need to do more and I need to be in front of the computer more. But then there's this part of me that feels like, no, that's not what I need to be doing. So the fighting yourself activation, I think I really received some clarity on some of that with that.
Yeah.
Because I do war within myself.
Mm-hmm.
Things that I feel like I should do, I don't know that they come from me. But then there's this childlike part of me that's like, I mean, you have to be balanced. You have to do work and do administrative things, and then you get to play in the sunshine and jump in the mud puddles. But like, that war between the child and the adult part of me
Mm-hmm.
is something I think I got a little bit of clarity on.
Mm, that's good. It's a big deal. I seen for that war with the self, I seen like this modality almost. Like I seen like a little person, and they were almost inside of me. This little person inside of me working me with controls. No, no, it was like I seen a person almost doing like qigong, but
Yeah.
they were like breathing in, and it was a certain modality. It was like it's a breath work, like, and they would do this, but as they would put their arms out, it would send out like this. It was almost like creating a force field, and it would send it out, but it would ripple through me and like push. It was pushing out bad junk out of me, and almost created this force field of like. But if I just felt like it was going on within me, not like a literal person, but just the visual of like what was happening. It came with a feeling, like I felt it as well. It was very, very strange, but very healing and protective, and felt good.
It's so cool, like when you can do something like these activations where you just connect to God, you connect to Source, you connect to Christ, and just like say, hey, I'm connecting to you, kind of give an overview, fix whatever needs to be fixed, adjust the levels where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's no frills needed. There's no words needed. There's no,
Yeah.
Nothing is needed except connection and intention and presence. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so powerful, even
Mm-hmm.
for just a few minutes to sit in presence.
Yeah.
It's life changing.
Yeah, I'd like to know for anybody else who experienced something, let us know in the comment section. Like, let us know below. Whether you're watching this or listening to this, there's probably a comment section wherever you're consuming this at. Let us know for sure, just if you felt anything, or is it all just in our head? But does that mean it's not real? No. It means it's absolutely real.
Yeah.
Because it was real for you. It's part of your reality. It is your truth that there's a little person inside of me doing qigong to fight off the warfare. Nah, that was awesome. Let's we're gonna go ahead and end out, but like let's talk about our event coming up, because we only have a few slots left for our Mount Shasta retreat.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a popular one because of the location, like she's talking about, the ley lines and the grid work of the earth.
Yeah.
This is a very special place that we're going to be at Mount Shasta. It's a lot of intense energy, a lot of angelic activity, a lot of intention for healing in the sacred land that we're going to be on. So it's just a special physical location on earth. And so like we knew this one was going to sell out fast. So there's only a few spots left, but if you feel the call to come and join us, we're going to be there June the 12th through the 15th at Mount Shasta with our friend Corinne Grillo. We're going to be doing some of what we talked about with Tamara, taking the photos, learning how to take photos and even videos. And sometimes if you don't see anything, you can adjust the settings and see things that you couldn't catch with their naked eye.
Yeah.
So we're doing a workshop on that. You are.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be doing some sound immersions and cacao ceremony and some singing and dancing and concert.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Always is. And for those who desire it, there's gonna be a psilocybin ceremony the last day. It's like an add-on package if people want that. I like the fact that it's an option and it's not just that, and it's like an extra day for that for people who want to do it.
And it's separate. So if you're not comfortable with it, like we will completely close circle and end ceremony. And you won't feel like uncomfortable.
But there's people who want to, they're coming for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the cool thing too. Just something for everybody.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't need it, but you have so many tools and modalities there for you to use, and the plant teachers are there to help and to assist on the journey.
Yeah.
For sure, we believe it 100%. We've been working hard. I've been working hard, and you have too. But you just told everybody I'm working hard.
You're the harder worker for sure as far as this goes.
As far as this goes. Man, I'm also, listen,
I'm good at some things.
I'm still healing. My leg is healing. I went to physical therapy the last 2 days. They work, they're helping me for sure, build my strength back up in my leg for sure. But we've been working a lot, and we've been doing our thing, but working on Seer School, our membership site. And we've been doing that twice a week with the hangouts and community and that kind of stuff, but also working on the courses and the programs and the animation, and just kind of going above and beyond the storytelling aspect to create this immersive experience. And I'm starting to see it flesh out now, which is cool.
Yeah,
it's still a long process, but we're making strides of something that people can see, people can look at.
Yeah, and to me it's just like so innovative and immersive. I think people are really going to love what you're working on. I can't wait to like have something to tease it with.
It's kind of funny because it kind of reminds me a little bit of spirit science, and because they kind of teach spiritual concepts and stuff, but with characters and animation and stuff. Because there's a part of me, there's an inner critic in me too, that people aren't gonna like it, and you should just be behind the camera and you should just sell yourself, like you sell your look and your thing or whatever. But it's like I kind of feel the need to digress a little bit and let these characters and stuff and stories, immersive stories, let them come forward and teach and stuff. So that's something that I've struggled with a little bit, that people aren't gonna like it and stuff. But hey, I mean, you create what you like, and I would like this, so I'm gonna create it and put it out there, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
So if you want to see what we're creating, go to www.seer.school. There you can join our membership. We meet twice weekly via Zoom with our community. I get messages from people all the time wanting just to hang out and jump on a video call. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it like that, like it's not going to happen, but it's not going to happen because I make myself available to do that.
Yeah.
To jump on community calls, but we have discussion and people can talk and ask questions, and most of the time we're like kind of like digging for conversation. So people are like, hey, I want to jump on a call with you for to ask you about this, or ask you about the saints, or ask you about, I'm like, all right, well, I have an online community and we do our calls here. So if that's what you want to do, that's a pretty cool option that we can hang out if you ever wanted to talk to me, and I won't return your calls. Now, if I'm, not going to jump on a 2-hour just random. I used to do that, and I found myself having to like even get off of social media because I would do that.
Yeah.
Or people want to argue with me or whatever. It's like, hey, you want to argue? How about join that? And I'll argue with you for, during the call or something. But there's a lot of stuff that people get access to. And so we do 4 hours a week where we hang out with community, answer questions, and just ask questions.
Books. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a book club right now too. So, but yeah, you can go to seer.school to get more information on that. And you get, our meditation vaults, our webinars, all that is there.
PDF
Tons
books.
Of stuff.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff. So with that, we're going to say peace.
And thank you.
And shalom. And we're going to end out with a namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, my friend. We'll do it again.
Peace, peace.
Later. Hey, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I want you to know that there is a video right here that you can watch a video right by me. Click this video.
No, don't click his video. Click my video. His video is probably about demons and dark stuff anyways. Mine's probably about angels and awesome stuff.
She has a point. So you decide, the demon or the angel. What do you go with?